Good morning to all of you. Youth Congress President of Kerala, my young friend Rahul, Shri Benny Behanani MP, Shri Shafi PARAMBIL MP, Ms. J.B. Mathur MP, senior leaders Shri M.M. Hassan, Shri Ramesh CHENNITHALA. There are several, I'm sorry, CLP leader Shri SATHEESAN. There are several members of the Legislative Assembly here. I don't know their names, but I greet you. There are many, many people who met me last night and this morning. Very active and eager members of the Congress Party, the Youth Congress. I greet all of you. I greet all the office bearers of the Youth Congress, members of the Congress Party, and friends. Good morning to all of you. We are here to observe the memory of the late Shri Ummanchandi, who passed away on 18th July 2023. That was a day of grief for all the people of Kerala. And beyond Kerala, to all those who have followed Shri Ummanchandi's life and achievements. 1 year later, we mourn him. We join his family in grieving for his passing away. But this is also an occasion to celebrate the life of Ummanchandi. Everybody who comes on this earth will pass away one day. Every death brings grief. Every birth brings joy and pleasure. But between the joy of the birth and the grief of the death lies the life of a person, a man or a woman, and that life must be celebrated for many, many years after the person has left the earth. Today, the life of Ummanchandi is a life that we must celebrate. Look back on what he has achieved, what he stood for, what he fought for, what he suffered for, and what he accomplished, and look back again about the millions of people who are grateful to him even a year after his passing away. When I was a young member of the Congress Party, a youth Congress, there were three names in Kerala which resonated throughout Tamil Nadu and throughout India. There were, of course, the senior leaders, Karunakaranji, CM Stephen, there were senior leaders. But there were three names among the Youth Congress which we followed very carefully. One was Shri A.K. Antony, one was Shri Vayala Ravi, and one was Shri Ummanchandi. I spoke to Shri A.K. Antony about 10 days ago at the instance of my good friend Benny ji. I'm happy that he is cheerful, strong, and very enthusiastic and very optimistic about the Congress in Kerala. I called on Shri Vayalar Ravi today in the morning at his residence. He's full of old stories and he spent a lot of time speaking to me about his old stories from Vayalar village. The third person is not here. It is Shri Ummanchandi. He was the president of the Kerala Students' Union. Then he was the president of the Kerala Youth Congress and grew with the organization step by step until he became Chief Minister of Kerala twice. What is remarkable about his political travel is I don't think there is anyone in India who has won an assembly election from the same constituency in 1970, 1977, 1980, 1982, 1987, 1991, 1996, 2001, 2006, 2011, 2016 and 2021. That makes it 12 times from the same constituency. I have fought elections like many of you have fought elections. It's not easy to keep the faith and the trust of the voters of the same constituency. Today we find a person contests in one constituency and after 1 or 2 terms switches to another constituency. But from the same constituency to win 12 times and leave a legacy that after you pass away, the legacy is carried on by your own family member, your son. The voters of Pudupalli have reposed not only in the life of Sri Ummanchandi, but after he passed away, they continue to repose faith and trust in Sri Ummanchandi. That is rare. It is rare. It is rare that anybody can keep the faith and trust of the same constituency over 3 generations of voters. I remember Sri Ummanchandi. I followed his career very carefully. I followed his career as an MLA. He was the INTUC president, and then he became the Minister of Labour. Then he became the Home Minister, then he became the Finance Minister, then he became the Chief Minister. It is not easy to be a political leader in Kerala. In Kerala, to me, is an example of fierce political contestation. Every idea is contested. Every policy is contested. And not contested with bows and arrows or knives and guns. It is contested by speech, by writing. I cannot think of a more political state in India than Kerala. It's a deeply political state. And every idea, every statement, every proposal, every policy, every scheme is fiercely and hotly contested in Kerala. Nothing goes without a contest. This is the real battleground for political ideas in India. And the emergence of the UDF and the LDF represents the contestants. It is not multiple political parties, but the multiple political parties have forged 2 strong fronts. And the 2 strong fronts represented a particular line of thought, a particular way of life. And I'm happy that the LDF and UDF are contesting. Sometimes one may lose, sometimes one may win. But it is the contest that makes Kerala lodestar as far as politics is concerned and for experimentation in political ideas. Shri Ummanchandy also experimented with a number of ideas. In fact, he is credited with many, many major projects which are now the signature of Kerala. The Kannur International Airport, the Kochi Metro, the Vizhinjam International Seaport, which was inaugurated, which received its first ship a few days ago, the Smart City project, the Techno Park at Thiruvananthapuram, the National University of Advanced Legal Studies at Kochi, the Indian Institute of Technology at Palakkad, are all bear the signature of Shri Ummanchandy. He did not claim to be a god or a god's representative. He did not claim to be non-biological. He did not claim to be Paramatma sent me to Kerala. He was an average, ordinary member of the Congress party who went up step by step and learned from his experience, from his working with people, what the people needed. Once he understood what the people needed, he went about implementing it quietly and silently. In fact, I remember very well, and I was reminded of it this morning by friends here, that his slogan, Adiveham Bahuduram, that I remember very well. In fact, that should be the signature tune, the slogan of the Congress party in Kerala. Between now and the next assembly election, you have about 2 years to work. Go back to your constituencies and work on the slogan, we will come to power and we will follow Adiveham Bahuduram. And I'm sure that the Congress party and the UDF will emerge victorious. Somebody, I think Rahul mentioned and the previous speaker mentioned, what is loyalty to a party? Loyalty to a party does not mean the party gives you something all the time, you feed on that, what the party gives you, and therefore you're loyal to the party. That is not loyalty to the party. Loyalty to the party means you believe in the core principles of the party. I think it's necessary to remind ourselves and remind the people of India what are the core principles of the Congress party. What is the DNA of the Congress party? What ought to be the DNA of the Congress party? I concede, sometimes the Congress party makes a mistake and departs from that core principle. Sometimes we forget the DNA and make mistakes. But we should quickly come back to the core principles of that party and imbibe the DNA of that party. Loyalty to the core principles is loyalty to the party. The core principles of the Congress party, in my view, are we believe in freedom, liberty. We believe in equality. We believe in liberty of thought, freedom of right speech and writing. We believe in secularism. We believe that in a country that is so large, with such a large population, the largest population of the world in any country, we believe that all that we do must be for the welfare of the smallest man, the lowest man, the last man in society. Those are the core principles of the Congress Party. Loyalty to the Congress Party means we have to be loyal to the core principles. Positions will come. MLA, MP, party position, they will come, they will go. Please remember the difference between the dhoti you wear around your waist and the shawl you put on your shoulder. Both are pieces of cloth. Both can't be treated as the same piece of the cloth. The piece of cloth that you tie around your waist is your dignity, your persona, it's your identity. The shawl that you wear on your shoulder can be thrown away. The dhoti around your waist cannot be thrown away. I can say it more effectively in Tamil, but I will try to say it in English. Loyalty to the core principles is like a dhoti around your waist. MLA, MP, party position, these are like the shawl. Somebody will put it around your shoulder, somebody will take it away. You can throw it away. You can throw it away when you don't like, but you can never throw away the dhoti around your waist. I think that is the core principles of the Congress Party. Other parties have their core principles. I don't deny them their right to have the core principles. The Marxist Party has its core principles. The BJP has its core principles. I am not denying the right of some people to believe in those principles. That is their right. That is the right in a democratic country. But as long as you believe in those principles, stay there. As long as we believe in our principles, we stay here. What I don't understand is, how can anyone who believes in the core principles of one set of principles jump ship and immediately embrace the next day the core principles of another party? That I don't understand at all. And it has happened in every state. It has happened in Kerala a few weeks ago, and I was very disappointed. All I'm appealing to my young members of the Youth Congress under Rahul's leadership, I appeal to you, believe in a set of principles and remain true to those principles and the end of your life. That is what marked the life of Sri Oommen Did he ever, when he was minister or ceased to be minister, when he was chief minister or ceased to be chief minister, when he was an ordinary member of the Congress Party or a top leader of the Congress Party, did he ever forget two things? One, never forget your constituency. He never forgetted Pudupalli. He never forgot the basic core principles of the Congress Party. There was a famous poet in Tamil Nadu called Kannadasan. There was an even more famous poet many centuries ago called Pattinattar. Pattinattar wrote in erudite Tamil. Kannadasan simplified it for the common man and converted it into film songs. Kannadasan is perhaps the most famous film song writer of Tamil Nadu. He described the last day of one's life very simply and evocatively. He was summarizing what Pattinattar had said a couple of centuries ago. He said, "Veedu varai uravu," until the house is your relation. Veedi varai manevi, until the street is your wife. Kaadu Varai Mahan, until the burial or burning ghat is your son. Kadesi Varai Yaro, who will be at the very end. What you saw in the documentary, what we saw on television on 18th, 19th July 23. Millions of people were with Sri Oommen Chandy in the 150 kilometers that the cortege traveled from Thiruvananthapuram to Puduppally. It's not a tribute that everybody will get. It's a tribute of the whole of Kerala to its favorite son who worked for the society, worked for the people of Kerala, worked for the country for 52 years. Not always will you get such a fond farewell. Such farewells mark out the true leader from many other leaders. You just saw that documentary. We saw it on television a year ago. I couldn't believe my eyes. I have seen such funerals for Jawaharlal Nehru, for Indira Gandhi, for Rajiv Gandhi. But I could not believe my eyes when I found that a native son of Kerala who knew his limit, who knew his world, and he never stepped out of Kerala, never aspired for anything out of Kerala. That farewell to Sri Oommen Chandy is the biggest tribute, biggest award that anybody can give to a human being. I remember he came to Davos once. I don't know whether he traveled abroad often. I think he may have gone a couple of times to the Middle East. He came to Davos once. I think it was in the year 2006. I was there as finance minister, leading the Indian delegation. He came, but the simple human being that he was, he checked into the hotel. This is the story I remember from 18 years ago. He checked into the hotel. Apparently, he did not know the conditions of Davos. He stepped out of the hotel in the same dhoti and shirt. It was bitterly cold, of course. There was snow. There was snow. When it melts, becomes ice. It's very slippery. You have to walk carefully. You have to have spikes in your shoes. They put on spikes in your shoes so that you don't fall. He stepped out of the hotel and fell and fractured his foot. I think most of the time he was in Davos, he was in a hospital nursing the fractured foot. He was so simple a man that he thought stepping out of the hotel in Davos was like stepping out of a hotel or a guest house in Thiruvananthapuram or Kochi. He broke his foot and I went to see him. And he was the same person. You saw the documentary. Wherever he was, he will wear that dhoti and shirt, pick up his dhoti on the left hand and walk. That is the trademark image. Yeah, you can't see him walk without one end of the dhoti being picked up. That is the trademark of Sri Oommen Chandy. That picture remains in my memory and will always remain in my memory. I join you all in paying tribute to Sri Oommen Chandy, a life that was well lived, a life of dedication and service, a life that was lived for not only oneself or his family, a life lived for the people of Kerala, and the people of Kerala have paid a glorious tribute to Sri Oommen Chandy. The Youth Congress of Kerala is doing a great honor by instituting an award in the name of Shri Umanchandi, and I'm very, very happy that the first award this year is going to Dr. Manmohan Singh. I have to say a few words about Dr. Manmohan Singh. He was invited to this function to receive the award, but he's very frail. His mind is clear, but his body is very frail, and obviously he cannot travel the distance from Delhi to Kochi. But Dr. Manmohan Singh is another unusual human being who embraced the core values of the Congress Party. He started his career as a researcher in the government of Indira Gandhi. He accepted the policies of the government of the day, but a time came when he became the inspirer and the leader of new ideas. I still remember 1991 when he was inducted as a finance minister. Nobody knew that he will be the finance minister. We all knew he was an economist, he was the governor of the Reserve Bank, he was a member of the Planning Commission, he was the chairman of the University Grants Commission, but nobody attributed any political thought to Dr. Manmohan Singh. Suddenly, Mr. Narasimha Rao pulled a rabbit out of the hat. He pulled Dr. Manmohan Singh. And at the swearing-in, we were all surprised to see Dr. Manmohan Singh sitting in one of the chairs. He was sworn in as finance minister. I've spoken about and written about the first month. It was a remarkable month. It was not easy. It is not easy for a non-political person. It was not easy for a person who did not have public support and public adulation and public admiration. He was not a public person. He was a very private person. Very happy with his books and his work. Suddenly he was thrust into the limelight of politics as a finance minister of a country whose economy was in deep distress. And the first month was an exciting month. I think we were sworn in on a day in June. And until the first budget was presented on July 24, the first month or 5 weeks was an exciting period. In that period, we had a new industrial policy, we had a new monetary policy, we had a new fiscal policy, we had a new budget which opened a new path to liberalization and globalization, and India has not turned back since. We were growing for 50 years at 1% under the British rule, from 1900 to 1950. In the first 30 years, we grew at 3.5%. In the 1980s, we grew at 5%. Now, since 1991, our growth has not fallen below 5 or 6%, except in the pandemic years. Today, we accept 6% growth as a given. But before Dr. Manmohan Singh came on the scene, 6% growth was an aspiration. 6% growth was an ambition. 6% growth was not even dreamed of. Today, we accept 6% growth as a given. And the question is, how much higher can you be? I think India's reawakening, rejuvenation is entirely due to Dr. Manmohan Singh And I'm happy that the Youth Congress is paying tribute to Dr. Manmohan Singh. I remember a story which Dr. Manmohan Singh told me. When Mr. Narasimha Rao inducted him as finance minister and he called him and said, "You will be my finance minister," he was surprised. He did not believe it until that morning. That morning, the principal secretary to the Prime Minister had to call him and say, "Are you not coming to the swearing-in?" He said, "What swearing-in? Why should I come to Rashtrapati Bhavan?" No, you're going to be minister, please come." He took out his old suit. I think Dr. Manmohan Singh has only 2 or 3 suits. All his 10 years as Prime Minister, he wore only 2 or 3 suits. He did not change 3 suits a day. He had 3 suits, 3 suits for all 10 years. And Dr. Manmohan Singh told me a story. Narasimha Rao is a very wily, clever politician. I think Ramesh knows and others knows. He's a very clever politician. He called him and said, "You will be my finance minister. I will give you total freedom. If you succeed, I will claim the credit. If you fail, you will go." In those conditions, Dr. Manmohan Singh took the bold step of liberalizing India's economy. Now everybody accepts liberalization. That is a core principle of the Congress party. Political freedom plus economic freedom. Apart from the other basic freedoms, religious freedom, social freedom, cultural freedom, these are all aspects of the same thought. We must be free. Freedom, everybody is born free. You are born, you're free, you put on shackles over your life, but those shackles must be thrown away and you must be free. Just as we celebrate cultural freedom, social freedom, religious freedom, and political freedom, Dr. Manmohan Singh taught us and imbued it as a core principle of the Congress party, economic freedom. It's economic freedom that will make us a rich and powerful country. People must be free to produce, sell, trade, travel from one place to another, experiment, startups, ideas. That is economic freedom. That economic freedom was taught to us by Dr. Manmohan Singh, and I'm very, very happy, and I congratulate Rahul and his colleagues for bestowing the first Sri Oommen Chandy Memorial Award on another great son of India, Dr. Manmohan Singh. I thank you very much for inviting me and to participate in this function. I come here to pay tribute to the life of Sri Oommen Chandy. I come here to celebrate the life of Sri Oommen Chandy. And I ask you to hold as your examples Sri Oommen Chandy, on whose name the award is being instituted today. And also, I pay tribute to Dr. Manmohan Singh, the deserving first winner of the award. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.